right, let's take a look at DSMA 1 graphing lines. This is the coordinate system. What we have here is we have a horizontal axis here. That is all of our x's. It looks just like a number line. We start in the middle with 0. On the right-hand side, we have our positive numbers, 1, 2, 3, 4, all the way to infinity. On the left-hand side here, we have our negative numbers, -1, -2, -3, all the way to negative infinity. Then we have our vertical axis, and that has all of our y's. So this is also a number line. It's just flipped so that the positive numbers are on top, 1, 2, 3, 4, all the way to infinity. The negative numbers are on the bottom, -1, -2, all the way down to negative infinity. This point in the very middle is the origin, and so that is the point 0, 0. With ordered pairs, we always put x first and then y. This isn't always. We put them in parentheses with the comma in between. And so this denotes where we're going to go on the x-axis, where we're going to go on the y-axis. We're going to try some of these in just a minute. With the quadrants, this graph's a little crazy because usually we use Roman numerals. So we start up here. This is quadrant 1, and then we go opposite of what we would think we would do. 2 is over here on the left, 3 is down here, and 4 is down here. So on most graphs, you're going to see that with the Roman numerals. Okay, so let's look at another one here. Again, our horizontal axis is x, our vertical axis is y. And what they've done here, oh, and of course our origin's in the middle here, they're just showing you if x and y are going to be positive or negative. So for quadrant 1, we're on the positive side for x and the positive side for y. So both x and y would be positive. Over here for quadrant 2, now we've moved over to where x is negative, but the y's are still positive. If we come down here to quadrant 3, they're both negative, right? The x's were on the negative side, the y's were also on the negative side, and so both x and y would be negative. And then finally, quadrant 4, our y's are negative, but our x's are positive. My coworker says that these look like owls, right? If you just look right here, that looks like an owl. Here's an owl winking. Here's an owl sleeping. Just a little math humor. Okay, so for this problem, we want to plot the ordered pair 5, 9. So what that's telling me is that x is equal to 5, y is equal to 9. It's always going to be x first and then y. With this software package, what you're going to do is you're going to click on that little dot in the middle and drag it with your mouse. So we're going to come over here to 5, right? 5 is right here. So x equals 5 would be right here. And then we're going to make our way up to where y is equal to 9. And that's going to be our ordered pair. So that's our answer. So we would drag that and release right here at the ordered pair 5, 9. Okay, so for the ordered pair 8, 0, x is going to equal 8. So we're going to go to 8 on the x-axis. Y is equal to 0. So since y is equal to 0, we're going to stay put. So we're going to grab this dot in the middle, drag it over to where x is equal to 8, but then we're going to stay where we are because y is equal to 0. And so we're not going to go up or down for y. We're just going to stay put. Now, one way to draw a line is to just substitute x values into an equation. So we have the equation here, y equals 3x plus 3, and we're going to plot some points. Now, my math lab's going to make you plot lots of points. We really only need, we technically only need 2 points to plot a line, However, it's always good to have 3 just in case to make sure you're doing it correctly. So for this first one, we are going to substitute in -3 for x. Everything else stays put. Now, you could put this in your calculator. Your Casio has parentheses, but what we end up with here is we get -9 plus 3 equals -6. And so that's my y value right here, right? When I put -3 into the equation, I get -6 back out. Let's do one more. Okay, the next number is -2. So I substitute -2 in for x. That gives me -3, and that's what I'm going to answer next. And then so on. You're just going to keep substituting the x values and see what you get for y. So now we have these ordered pairs, and now we have to figure out what's going on of which graph we're going to pick. So we would have to come, this first one is -3, -6. And so that would mean that we would come over, let me draw a graph over here real quick. Right, we would come over here to the left to -3 and down to -6. So that means I'd have to be sure that I have a point down there. Well, the only graphs that have a point down there is A and D. So at that point, if you click on these, I can't do it on here because this is a screenshot, but if you click on that magnifying glass, the graph will get bigger and then you can check and see. The easiest one to check is actually when x is equal to 0, right? So let's check that. On A, it looks like we do have 0, 3. Now notice these tick marks are going by 3s because they're getting up to 15. So it's 3, 6, 9, 12, 15. So we do have that ordered pair 0, 3. On D, we do not. It looks like at 0, we're at -3, right down here. So this one's not going to work. A is good to go. Okay, so first you're going to substitute in the x values and get your y's back out, and then just check a couple of the points on the graph to pick the correct graph. All right, so let's talk about x-intercepts a minute. X-intercepts and y-intercepts are just where they cross either x or y. So for this one, because this is the x-axis, the horizontal axis, this point right here would be the x-intercept. Because this is the y-axis, this point where the line crosses the y-axis, that would be the y-intercept. So let's take a look at our graph here. It says, what is or are the x-intercepts for this graph? So we want to come over here to the x-axis and find where this line crosses the x-axis. And it looks like we come over here to x equal 2. And we didn't leave the x-axis, and so y is still right smack dab in the middle. Y is going to be 0. Now, this is always going to happen with x and y intercepts. If it's the x-intercept, y is going to be 0. Okay, so if it's the x-intercept, you're going to have a number, and then y is going to be 0. If it's the y-intercept, then x is going to be 0, and you're going to have a number here. So now let's look for the y-intercept. We want to grab the point up here where the line crosses the y-axis. That looks like 3, but be careful. X is 0 because we're here in the middle of the x-axis, and it's y that's equal to 3. Okay, so always with x-intercept and y-intercept, with the x-intercept, the y is equal to 0. With the y-intercept, the x is equal to 0. Okay, same problem. We have a line here, and they want me to identify the intercepts. So first I'm going to look for the x-intercept. So that is going to be where we cross the x-axis. That would be the point right here. Looks like we're at -1, -2, -3. So x is equal to -3 because we're on the x-axis. We don't leave the x-axis, therefore y is equal to 0. Okay, for the y-intercepts, we want to look at the y-axis here and see where it crosses. It crosses up here, but notice I'm still in the middle of the x-axis. So my x is 0, and I came up on y to +3. You have to use the parentheses and the comma. It says type an ordered pair. And so when the fine print says that, you have to have the parentheses and the comma in the middle. So this is kind of a strange problem. We have y equals 1. These are one of these special lines that we use. There's no place to substitute in x. And therefore, for every single x value, y is equal to 1. So whenever you see y equal to a number where you don't have any x's, you know that you're going to have a horizontal line. And this is going to be really important when we get into chapter 3. So if you see y equal to a number, y equal to 5, y equal to -10, y equal to 1,000,000, doesn't matter. If there is no variable with it, then you're going to have a horizontal line. Now, my math app's still going to make you go ahead and put all of these in, but there's no place to substitute the x, and so we just get a y equal to 1. If they then ask you to graph this, you are going to come here to 1 on the y-axis and draw a horizontal line through there. So let's try another one. Let's say we have 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Let's say we have y over here, y equal to -3. Well, there's no variable other than y. We have a y equal to a number. No, so we know we have a horizontal line. What we're going to do is come down to -3, and we're going to draw a horizontal line straight through -3. Determine whether each ordered pair is a solution of the given linear equation. All right, so for the first one, we're going to use the equation 4x plus 3y equal 10. We are going to check the ordered pair 1, 2. So remember, this is x and y. So we're going to put that x equals 1 and y equal 2. And now we have to check. Okay, so I substituted 1 in for x, 2 in for y, put the rest of the equation there. I put a question mark above the equal sign because we don't know if this is going to work or not work. So let's go ahead. Let's see. 4 times 1 is 4, plus 3 times 2 is 6. I'm still wondering, but I can see that 10 equals 10. This is a good thing. That means that, yes, this is a solution to the given linear equation. All right, let's try another one. Let's try 2, 0. Okay, so x is equal to 2, y is equal to 0. And we're going to see if that equals 10, but you probably can already see that that does not equal 10. I have 8 plus 0 equals 10. I have 8 is not equal to 10. So this is not a solution. And if you did the last one, you would see that that's the same way. So it's very careful that you check. It's very careful that you make sure that the first number is x, the second number is y, and then you just work your way down the equation. Of course, you can pop those right into your calculator as well, but only the left-hand side because you're checking to see if it's equal to 10. Okay, so let's take a look. We've got 3 ordered pairs we're going to try here. Our equation is y equals -4x plus 1. So first we're going to substitute 0 in for x. If we do that, looks like we get a 1 back out because -4 times 0 is 0 plus 1. So let's put a 1 here. Let's do this again. This time we're going to put a positive 1 in here. So that gives us -4 plus 1, which is -3. And then finally, we'll do it over here. Y equals -4. Put parentheses in here. Plus 1. So -4 times 2, that would be -8 plus 1 gives me -7. Okay, so let's go ahead and plot these. I have 2, -7. The stylus does not like to make dots. Then I have +1, but down to -3. And then finally, I have 0 in the middle and up to 1. And you can see I have a line here. I'm not quite sure I'm going to be able to get a line to draw through here nicely, but no, not a very straight line, but you get the point. In my math lab, most of the time you're going to be doing multiple choice. If not, what's going to happen is you're going to go into the coordinate system. There's an icon that looks like this. So you're going to click on that. You'll click on one of these points. At that point, it's going to start to do show you a line. So you click on the point, don't hold it down, just click on the one point and then go up and click on the other point, and it's going to go ahead and draw the line for you. I apologize for my line there. All right, this is another special line that we have. We had y equal to a number gave us a horizontal line. X equal to a number is going to give us a vertical line. A vertical line breaks every single rule that we have in algebra. You'll see as we go along. And so what happens with this one, because it says x equal 5, we're going to come over here to +5, and we're just going to straight draw a vertical line through that. Okay, so that is the line x equal 5. If you have to use the drawing tool, you're going to again click that icon that looks like this. You can click anywhere on these lines. Just click 2 points. So you could click the point on the x-axis and then go up a couple and click another point, and it's going to draw a line. So I wanted to show you just down here in the left-hand corner. Let's say they gave me x equal -2. Well, same idea. I'm going to come over here to -2 on the x-axis, and I'm going to draw a vertical line straight through. Okay, that's all there is for x equal to. If you don't see the y variable, if you only see the x equal to a number, that's what's going to happen. You're going to have a vertical line.